Love the tie, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. You know, if I don't dress this way, people do not recognize me. It's like Clark Kent. It really is. Yeah. We're on FilmsGoneWild.com. My name is John Wildman. I'm the editor-in-chief of Films Gone Wild. Right now we're at Dances with Films LA, the Hollywood version, not the New York City version, but Hollywood. We're at the Chinese Theatre. That's how freaking Hollywood this festival is. And we're going to talk about a short that rocked my fucking world when I saw it. And I cannot wait to talk about this thing. All right, introduce yourself.
Okay, well, thank you for the introduction. That's so nice. Well, I'm the writer-director of American Boy.
My name is Charles. I'm an actor, producer, and graphic designer for American Boy.
My name is Jingbei, by the way. I forgot to say.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. Our audience has not seen the film yet. Introduce us to American Boy.
Yeah. So, American Boy is about a undocumented Chinese immigrant on a night out with two of his friends, and working up the courage to talk to his crush for the first time ever, and on the pretty much best day of his life, everything was cut short by
something.
Ice.
Yes, yeah. See now I wasn't going to give the spoiler away.
Yeah, no, I feel like, because that's the thing. I think it's more. I want the audience to go in kind of knowing what's gonna happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the whole thing is about. Because it's my own experience.
Right.
Well, my fear. Luckily, I haven't been detained yet. But I think what we don't talk about, or is not shown in the media, is the looming fear that undocumented people face. It's not like I wake up every day and it's like, bro, I'm undocumented. Like I gotta do my undocumented activities. It's like when I hang out with my friends, I feel just like anyone else. We talk about movies, talk about late night shows and whatnot, but there's a looming fear that any second your life can just be taken away.
Dude, you're like stealing my thunder on what I wanted to ask you. Yeah, because that's one of the wonderful things about this. And I've told other writers and other friends after I saw it, I go, this thing, like I didn't know what it was about before I watched it. Like I had no prep. Right? And so I'm watching and going, okay, I get it. I'm being dropped. My old ass is being dropped into the world of these kids, and you go, all right, sure. And then shit hits the fan, right? And and also, and I'm agonizing with him, like trying to get up the courage, and then that conversation is so that I'm like rocketed back to when I was that age, like trying to come to the conversation and and trying to sound smart and trying and trying not to make a fucking mistake, because then she's going to just reject me, and the film does that so well, and then it drops the hammer, and you go, oh my God. And it does, and I think it illustrates exactly what you want so well, because you have sucked us in so well in just the angst of every boy trying to talk to a girl, right? Let's talk about the reality of shooting this, and I want both of you to talk about this, in terms of what it took to pull it off.
A very interesting story. So our budget was $400.
God damn.
Yeah.
Sorry, $450.
Oh my
well,
God.
That's a big budget.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Looks less impressive now.
Now you can buy 2 pizzas for the crew,
Right.
Which is 5 guys, right?
This guy forgot to buy us our lunch.
Oh, but no, okay. The second day, like, I just forgot. And like after we ran like 2 hours early, and I was like, yo, we forgot to take lunch, and I got over to guys, please let me buy you food, and it's like, oh, no, we already ate it. I felt so bad, but
you should feel bad.
I should feel bad.
Yeah.
It's a cardinal sin.
I'm still hungry.
Yeah, but $450 is. We just have to. Like our crew is 8 people, in the crew, including the actors, and had to commit a lot of crimes, I guess, to follow this film, like permits and stuff, may or may not skipped it. So yeah.
You guys strike me that is a classic thing of like going, guys scatter, right?
Had to dodge the police. Like I remember there's one of our location. it haven't rained in SoCal in like 6 months. And the only 2 days that rain, it happens on our shoot day. After our
Dude, that's production value. Usually having to wet down the streets to make it look great,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, no, God was our production designer. Wasn't credited, but Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no. One of our locations it was raining so hard, it was flooded. So we just had to yo, we gotta film somewhere else. It's great.
I think there was some points. It was really funny in the park, especially when Arturo had his giant camera right here, and it was raining, and of course we wanted it wet, and we also we didn't have great lighting either. So I think it was you, me, and one other actor, John. I think both of us were just taking turns holding up the umbrella just over the camera to make sure nothing got wet. Other two were just holding two lights like this in really weird angles. I think you were in the slide trying your hardest not to fall through and anything. It was great.
Yeah. You know, the lighting is really kind of I don't know, homage, but taking a lot of inspiration from the Dogma movement and the mumblecore movement. So I think it has to. I know I had some disagreement with my DP earlier on. I was I swear to you, noise can't look good if it's consistent. I have a point to make with it. But yeah, luckily, so well, you can see for yourself, I guess.
Okay, now knowing all this, how did the decision come and the ramp up to do it? Because if you're scrapping around that, because I've done scrappy productions, but you guys have kicked my ass in terms of scrappy productions here. So so if you're doing that, did you reverse engineer this? Go, listen, we got these 3 buddies, we know can do this, and we know we got this guy at the camera, so so let's do the story about this. Or did you have that story and said, okay, how can we do this for literally $1.50?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. The idea kind of come to me. The idea is to achieve realism. I want a viewer to be kind of the person that's holding the camera, to imagine themselves to be in the backseat with the guys. And what I love about the mumblecore movies very much is that I am aware of the camera, so in some weird way that it brings a certain level of realism. And I was what if I did something like the night was shot on an iPhone. It's not shot on an iPhone, but that feeling of just video taken on your phone on a night out. So I wrote a story that can achieve using that, I guess, tone and style. Hopefully, get a viewer to think about these people and say, oh, they're my friends. I know these people exactly, and also cheaply.
Yeah, it was a lot of favors from friends, a lot so.
Thank you guys. Thank you, friends.
But it's still only food.
See, and you can get away with that once.
Yeah, no, never again. I feel so.
Yeah, because you do that twice. You're going, yeah, he's great. His films are great, but he's not going to feed you.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
But okay, now last question is, all right, now you do this film, and like I said, at least in my opinion, it exceeds on all the expectations you could possibly hope to have. And now you're going to do the festival run. Hopefully, I would have to imagine the programs. A lot of festivals would love to drop this sucker in one of their mixtape programs, kind of thing. But for you guys, was that, did you have that kind of thinking as you're making it, going, yeah, we could screen it here, and we could do that, or whatever, or were you just going, let's just get this thing done? Can we just accomplish it, and we'll figure out the rest later?
Yeah, no, I had no idea that this thing you can't even go into festivals. That originally it just, after the third term, the second term, hopefully not the third term, Trump was elected, it was just just seeing people like me getting taken away from their homes and dropped into our, concentration camp on our soil the second time, and it's just a lot of, I guess, anger and frustration, and I wanted to just put that in the page. And in the same time, I also, in like a selfish way, I like imagine, like every time I'm in the history class, learning about like World War II, right? And then, you know, we're always like, yo, like, I can't believe these people just did nothing when the Holocaust was happening, you know? And I was like, whoa. I don't want to be one of those people. I want to at least try to do something, you know, for you know, at least people like me that's been setting these scams. But all of the festivals thing is a surprise. I'm very surprised I've gotten to, you know, a Denver film.
Well, I think you should prepare to be surprised a fucking lot, because I again, like, you know, I represent a lot of film festivals, and you know, and I would easily give this to each one of the programmers and go, we need to take a look at this.
Thank you so much.
No, absolutely.
It's so nice. Thank you so much.
Well, no, but that's the thing is that, you know, it's one thing to have the inspiration, it's one thing to have the desire. To put in other, the last film I just interviewed the same way. You know, it's one thing to have that, and you go, but you know, but good intentions don't make good films. And you know, and you've done that. You know, you both communicated something that is vital to be communicated right now. Of course, always, but definitely right now. And so therefore, someone like myself, or then it's up to us to then give you that platform and stick this sucker on a big screen and be able to let you talk about it. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.